Well, last week, the Paris Club of Creditor Nations granted Somalia a major debt relief, agreeing to cancel $1.4 billion of its arrears. International organisations like the World Bank have praised the country for its economic reforms. The IMF has also recently granted Somalia a new 3-year financing agreement worth more than $395 million. The financial support is expected to open up a path towards rebuilding an economy that's been almost cut off from the world after decades of civil war and violence. While the debt relief is a much-needed boost, Somalia now has to battle the onset of 2 outbreaks, a desert locust swarm that's wiping out crops and the rapid spread of the new coronavirus. Well, for more on this story, I'm joined now by Somalia's Finance Minister Abdirahman Beileh in Mogadishu. Thank you so much for joining us on Money Talks, Minister. Now, as I mentioned, the historic reforms that came into play last month was a huge moment for Somalia. But can I come to that in a moment? Because the International Committee of the Red Cross says it's worried about the impact that the coronavirus could have on Somalian communities that have already been weakened by violence and conflict. What is your government doing to deal with this outbreak?
Thank you very much, TRT. It's a pleasure for me to be here. For that question, I think that Somalia has been very much strengthened by the challenges that it had for the last 30 years. It's not the other way around. Somalia today is stronger, much stronger. We have been through a lot, and nothing can be much more difficult than the road we have been in. Of course, the coronavirus is affecting everybody. It's affecting Somalia as well. But we are as strong, if not stronger, than many other countries in terms of combating. In terms of combating with this, we are discussing with the international community. We are preparing our reports. We are preparing our ICUs in intensive care units. We are preparing our beds. We are preparing just like everybody else. So really, the past is to be counted as a very strong contributor to moving forward than the other way around.
Now, last month, the World Bank and IMF said Somalia now qualifies for a debt relief program and can reintegrate into the global economy after some 30 years. What does this historic milestone mean for Somalia?
That means that Somalia now can get access to the resources that these institutions have for countries of our level of development, particularly the grant resources that we never had access to. We have discussed this with them, and I think if we are now getting much better, it's because of the international community. Very important among them being the Turkish government, which has assisted this country by way of budget support and by way of technical assistance. So what we are now is that the debt is being relieved, the debt is being cancelled. Some of it is going to be reorganized and cancelled down the road. And more importantly, we'll get access to resources that are on grant terms to help us reconstruct and rebuild the country. So we are very pleased. We have come a long way, and we are ready to continue further.
Now, the access to this debt relief program is obviously a huge milestone that will help Somalia's economy quite significantly. But what other reform challenges are there for the country in order to fully recover economically?
I think that Somalia is a developing country. It's one of the so-called least developed countries. We also had our share of challenges in the past. So we continue to have challenges, and some of those challenges are strengthening our governance, financial governance, our resource management, governance on transparency issues, and more importantly, I think dealing with the problem of coronavirus. These are some of the challenges, but it's not different from any other country. I think that we have been strengthened by our experience, and therefore, whatever we face now, we will be able to overcome those challenges. But these are some of the challenges, just like any other developing country.
Now, Somalia is also preparing to hold its first democratic elections since 1969 this year. When are they expected to take place exactly, and what progress is being made towards those votes?
Elections are slated to take place towards the end of the year. Parliamentary elections are expected to take place by the end of the year, and presidential elections are supposed to take place early next year, the first 2 months of next year, just like we had 4 years ago. We are preparing for that. The Parliament has approved the documents that are necessary. The constitution is being finalized. It will be done by this June. Consultations have already been concluded. So we are ready. We are ready to have one man, one vote, one person, one vote as soon as the time comes. So we are really ready to move forward.
Okay, Abdirahman Beileh, Somalia's Minister of Finance, it was a pleasure to have you on the program. Thank you again.